I'd like to have all of y'all, especially y'all down there, because the top's dead, we don't want it throwing stuff. So need everybody up here. So, I get behind my line. So all my steering is now done. I want to try to get 80% of the diameter cross section, and if you look down this line right here, I'm about on that little maple thing now. So that's all my steering. And now I stay in this position. I'm going to take the saw, turn it over this way, and take the bottom out. So here, leveled up, on target, take here. So I can look into that top cut and make the bottom cut meet, okay? I'm pretty much flat there. Now I want you guys to look, I'm probably 80 degrees on the notch that's out. So when people say, you know, 30 degrees here, 40 degrees here, that's more than 70 degrees. Nothing wrong with it, but it's something that's more than 70 degrees. So flat end still gives you the 70. So you don't have to cut up this way. And anyway you went this direction, you still have 70 degrees or more, don't you? Okay. All my steering is done. I have pretty decent fiber, a little bit of rot, maybe probably a little hollow spot there. And we've already got some ants, carpenter ants in there. So I'm going to come over here and set up my, how much hinge? Inch and a quarter. All right, I need you folks to move back up here. All the way up behind the tree. If I have to use a bore or plunge cut, push, pull, kick back, my starting corner is here. Okay? I level up to the base nut. I want you to think about something. If you're cutting a tree from the back, your eyes should be on the face notch. If you're bore cutting through, your eyes should be on the face notch. Because right behind that notch is what? That's your hinge. I see people all the time, you know, over here cutting, over here watching the tree. You can't see your hinge on that side. So what happens is people usually cut it off on one side or the other. And a lot of times they say, well, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to hold one over there and over there. I'll tell you, a nice straight hinge, much more predictable. And I always ask them, well, after you minutes to do it, tell me how much you're going to leave and cut the next one. Very seldom can they give you exact measurements, but you can't see the other side. So if I'm cutting from the back, I want to be here so I can see my face notch and then escape. If I'm bore cutting through, it gives me the ability. So right now you see I got about 1.25 inches there. I got about 1.25 inches there. All I do now is release the back. I can go out the back and walk away, or I can take my saw off, come off the back. If I wanted to, I could now cut back a little bit and I have a spot to place a wedge. You see, I've created a spot here that I can place a wedge should I have backlink. So, smaller diameter trees, the reason why a lot of people have to have a rope, because you got to have a rope to be able to get it to go that direction, don't you? But if you got your hinge set up, you can be able to wedge to pivot on that particular position. Up there. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. You know, I think the neatest thing about having a plan is we can come back, reevaluate, see what worked and what didn't. Don't come on over, take a look. So, if I look at the center of my crown, it's over here. Where should I have aimed? Look at that. That tree went pretty much where I over here. And Soren used to say that that's the nut behind the handle, right? And you start to think about it here. How much hinge do I want?
It's a quarter.
Inch and a quarter. Let's see what we have. Look, almost exact. A little bit of damage to the inch and a quarter all there. So my hinge is what I call my face notch for 70 degrees or more. Back cut, level, release the back, limp. Bottom line is I did what? Aimed it. Huh? Question for you. If I was going to hold more over here, I would use that technique. I see it all the time. You can do that. I want to hold more over there and kind of pull the tree over. How much more would I hold over there to pull the tree? Or how much more would I cut off over here to pull the tree? It's a guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when somebody tells you that, I had a lead paper specialist, fiber specialist. He said, think about this. If your hinge was an inch and it starts to fall, where's it break from first, the back or the front? The back. What if it's 4 inches? Does it break from the back or the front? Backwards. What if I had an inch over here and 3/8 over here, and the tree started to fall? Would it break from the thick side first or thin side first? Thick side. See, because that fiber's running this way. That if it follows your face knot, the first one is going to pull is the thickness of the back. If you take, you'll always see the thicker side. See how it's thicker in the back than in the front? You'll always pull from the back side. So when you start looking, if I've got too much hinge, I got long fibers pulled. Something that's in the face notch from distance, I've got long fibers pulled. But if I think about the best hinge to have, it'd be nice and straight all the way across. Because I can't do anything except guess. I can take stuff off over here, try to get pulled around. But it's much easier to do what? Take it straight and aim it there. With my hinge held in it. I'll show you one other thing too. See where that fiber is running out into that root? I talked about straight fiber here. If I want an inch and a quarter, I can come up here anywhere and I'd have an inch and a quarter. But if I've got fiber running out at that angle, if I come up here 2 inches, I've done what? Cut my hands off. Same thing if I'm working out of a bucket and I've got a limb collar, I've got angled fiber. So the after that, if you're planning on really controlling that limb, you've got to make sure that you take that into consideration. So I'm gonna go down through here and look just a little bit hazard-wise. I think we don't have anything overhead now, right? And so if this thing would roll, which way would it roll? To the right or to the left? Probably to the right, right? So I'm going to go down and I'm going to take some limbs off of it, and then we're going to look at cutting the trunk bill. Compression, top side or bottom? Bottom. So here I'm going to use just a little slide notch and then overcut. Look at this now. If I go against the spike, if I pull back, little slide, that's all I need to have a 90-degree open. So if it's way up in the air, I can lower that down a bit. And let's see, this one over here in that same situation. Not a real good example, but I'll show you about the log levitation. So if it's on the ground on both sides across the road, see what it's doing in the middle? Pick it up. So you pick it up right off the road, be able to put something under it if you need to. You take one that's long, you pick it up 5 or 6 inches. The other thing is, when you do undercut it, you can come in at an angle that's not far off the ground. You bypass that line, just cut it. And another one that you can use is a vertical. Just above ground level. Just above ground level. So, if I have a machine coming, you see, all of that bypass is as soon as the machine starts to making this. As soon as the machine touches it, pops apart. See? So, I offset the two cuts, it's just like firewood between them. So, I can do those vertically, I can do them horizontally. Also, I mentioned the one on the coming groove. I'm going to take a few more limbs off and show you what it is. You ever been stuck? That's the first time I've ever been stuck. Nailed it. What happened there? Which side was my compression side? Huh? Which side was the compression side? Top. That'd be why I saw stuck in. So which side should I cut first? Top first and then the bottom. If I make it past though, I don't know about that. Then you can do what? Oh, don't hurt your back. Wait a minute. Can't you just take that and flip it all the way over? Alright, I think we need to take it back the other way now. Let's flip it back. So what's easier to do? To have step back and look and see where the compression and tension is, or to cut and get stuck? You know, I have my guys say, you know, I can't afford wedges because my guys, they tear them up and they lose them. And so I really can't afford wedges. I said, well, how do you get unstuck? Well, we just use a machine. I said, that's much cheaper because machines don't cost anything, you know?
Yeah.
But they are expensive. And so we start thinking about a little bit. If I do the compression side first, then I don't have that issue with it. Let's see. So this one's separated, huh? That one's separated. That one's separated. This is the common groove. There, if you look, you got a groove on this side, tongue on that side. You have to bypass the two fibers. Always think about the compression side first, then the tension side. Every place I cut is actually set. So if I've got a equipment coming down the road, every place I cut is set. And then stump. Hey, one more time. When you cut pretty good sized stumps, start on the outside, work yourself around. In this case, this was kind of hunky in the middle. But if you bore in flat, you go around with a push the chain. You always get your bar back out, because when it does, it feels sawdust back in on top of the stump. So you can go right at ground level, you sometimes a little bit below. This one's rotted down the bottom. But I go in, walk around it, it holds that stump off my bottom. And so that keeps it from getting pinched.
How did you start? I didn't see. How did you start that first cut? The plunge.
Through,
okay.
And then use the pushing chain.
Okay. I got
So that fills the sawdust back in. So that makes it nice. Keeps it up off your bottom. Like I say, you can go right at ground level if it's dirty, it's going to dull your chain a little more. But that actually tends to dull my chain a lot less than if I start from the outside, because every time I go around, I'm pulling all that dirt back into the curve. This way it kind of goes one direction and stops. Yeah, I should have checked that compression intensity around. and go get another saw. Huh?
It's done.
So, I guess which is easier, to plan ahead of time or plan after?
Ahead.
Let's go down here and take a look. See if we can get a plan together and get these 2 trees out of this hang-up stuff. So what I'm thinking, everybody hear me okay? Yep. What I'm thinking, this one to the left is up under a limb and behind it. I need to sever it at the ground so it's just sitting on the ground. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and see if I can cut a notch on the back side, undercut, and see if we can get it. Now that won't work because we can't go that way. So I've got a cut on this side over here to try to get the cut to come off the stump this way. So face notch on the right side of it, and then back cut, and see if we can take that off. And where's our rope? There.
Somewhere. Nope.
We're running bowling. Hi. How tall is that tree? So if you're pulling the rope, you want to be back where? Past the height, right? I just want you to keep it up off the dirt. Don't put any pressure on it yet, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to notch it down below on the other side, back cut, and then I've got to cut the hinge off. You got to come back this way. I'm going to put a notch on the bottom on this side, notch on the top on that side. We're going to say it again. Next time I'll use a running boat, but that doesn't work. Ready? Right, tighten up, don't pull.
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Hey, you got to pitch. Yep.
Get my part done. Now y'all gonna clean it up. Clean it up. So, you know, a lot of times people just slash them. Using a notch and hinge, if you pull the rope, gives you some mechanical advantage on the piece. Also, once you start using notch and hinge, you use the weight of the angle. Once you get it up vertical, you can make it go sideways around. You can go up towards the tree, back away from it. All kinds of stuff you can do. But hinges and notches. Hinge is your friend. So it's important to think about any time that you can put one in your plan. It's probably a pretty sure thing you'll succeed. And even, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, it's rotted or dead. If it's rotted, that's different than dead. Rotted means there's no fiber. Dead means it's like, that's what you want to buy. It's a dry 2x4, 2x6. You don't want to buy a green one, do you? So that dry is actually stronger, but you have to go thinner with material to get it to work. So very important to think about that. But every cut that I make, I look to see if there's any hazards. I look to see if it don't go side to side, if it don't go back and forward. And, you know, then could there be back pressure? And all the hangers is always back pressure. Use it to your advantage in a lot of cases. But it's so important to do that, whether it's horizontal or whether it's standing and going. And then felling a tree, you know, it's looking for hazards and obstacles, get a spot wide enough and long enough, looking to see if there's side lean to that position, forward to back lean to that position, and then basically how much hinge I need to control, where am I going to escape to, and how do I plan to back cut it to get that, you know, plan to work. So that's kind of it. Any questions over anything we talked about today? Well, I want to thank y'all for being attentive. It's hard to get a big group to pay close attention. Y'all doing a great job. Hope it didn't bore you too much. And you know, if you picked up stuff, please share it. You know, whether it's how to get out of the stuff, or whether it's taking information, because it's going to happen either way. And so you think through it a little bit. How do we stop and plan? Do we just start rip-roaring through? But the thing is, if I've got a plan to start with, I can usually come back and evaluate and see what to do next. But if I don't have a plan to start with, then it can get kind of scary. But it's also not only dangerous, it's frustrating when you have something go wrong.